Okay, welcome to the Soul-Led Revolution with me, your host, Yolandi Bosov, and I'm very, very excited today to introduce you to a very special person. So, her name is Fanny Galus. My French is terrible, so just excuse me. And she is an alignment coach and a business strategist with 15 years of leadership background in the corporate world, spanning 4 continents. Now, I met Fanny a while back. We were working together, and she has developed the most incredible, what she calls the Galus method. And this is all about using your intuition. So she calls herself an intuition activist. And we're going to speak today about this beautiful new method that she's developed that you can use in your own personal life, that you can use in corporate world. And I'm so excited because I've had a session with her and it's just been mind blowing. So Fanny, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to speak to you.
Hi, Yolandi. Thank you so much for your invitation. Very excited too.
Awesome. Okay, so I want you to start out by telling us a bit more about yourself. How did you come up with this whole idea? Where it all comes from? How did this get born?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a straight path. Obviously, I was in a corporate world, as you just said. And one day I started to have panic attacks, which led me to my spiritual quest because I needed to learn how to breathe. I needed to learn how to relieve the stress. So I get on that spiritual path. And as I was opening more doors and more doors, I came to different modalities. And I found the work of David Hawkins with the map of consciousness. And the map of consciousness is a scale where you can measure the energy around you with the technique of muscle testing, which is the same technique applied in kinesiology. And when I, being an analytical person, I was a business strategist, suddenly I could use numbers to measure the energy around me. My mind was blown away. Total paradigm shift. Suddenly, I was seeing the world in numbers and I was measuring the energy of people, the level of consciousness, right? As David Hawkins called it, level of consciousness of people, books, events, everything around me. So I used that for a couple of years, but something in me was telling me, you need to use your own, you need to create your own grid, your own energy grid, something more simple, more approachable to use, more practical. Yeah. And that's how I came with the Galus method. I've created my own energy grid called GPS grid, which stands for Guided Path to Your Soul, which is a grid from 1 to 12, and each value gives you a meaning. And you can start to play with it and check the energy of your books, your food, people, events, jobs, everything around you with the GPS grid. So it's like a tool to connect to your inner GPS. Yes. And with that inner GPS, you can measure everything and anything around you. And I also created life maps to make it more structured. So with the GPS grid, you navigate through your 12 life maps to identify energy in your home, your health, your nutrition, your finances, your career, relationships, spirituality, etc., etc. It is endless of possibilities once you know how to use the GPS grid. So it's simply a tool to measure energy around us and identify the lower one, and then we can find solution to fix it.
I love that. I love that. And this for me is like one of those things. It's like in the world, we need more practical methods for us to basically start trusting our intuition and what's going on inside of us. And this for me is one of those, like, it's just like one of the coolest solutions, because most of the time we sit there and we're like, I can't trust myself. I don't know if this is right. And through this muscle testing that you do and all of this is just absolutely amazing. So it makes me so excited. So the thing that I really love about it is this like real world application. Like you say, like things like the food that you're eating, or what is your health like, or what is my relationship like with this person, etc. And I think, tell us a little bit more about like the types of stuff that people can measure, just so people can get an idea if they like interested in maybe going and discovering more. So just give us a little bit more information about that.
Exactly. So as I said, with the GPS grid, I've created maps. Let's say if we open the map of your home environment, then I have energy pointers. So in each of the 12 maps, I have 12 energy pointers that give us an indication of the energy in this map. In your home, for instance, I'm going to check the energy of your geolocation. Do you actually live in the right city or the right neighborhood? Is that the right energy for you?
Yeah.
And many people think maybe I should move elsewhere, right? And it's easy to find out. What is the energy of your bedroom? Bedroom is very important. I'll give you an example. I had a client recently. I get a 3 in her bedroom energy. 3 is an energy inconsistent, scattered energy. And she replied right away, no, my bedroom is great. It's spacious, a lot of light. I let it be. And then I come back to it around the energy pointer of decoration and furnishing. And then it tilts in my head. Is there something in the decor in your bedroom? And then she's like, oh, I move my treadmill in my bedroom and I can't stop seeing this massive treadmill in my bedroom. And when you think in terms of energy, treadmill is cardio, high intensity. Bedroom should be serenity and zen. See, so this is the type of very practical thing. I'm like, I think you should move your treadmill elsewhere. Right?
I love that.
Yeah, I love it. And yes, and we always find a solution, right? It is never a big surprise. Around the health, I like to check the circadian rhythm. What is your optimal bedtime, optimal wake-up time? Because this can really affect our energy. I also check your level of physical activity. For some people, optimally is 2 yoga sessions per week and running half an hour and maybe a long hike. For other people, it could be double that amount of activity. So everything is highly personalized because I connect to your soul vibration and we check what is in alignment with your soul vibration. So it is, and then we create a GPS one map, which is highly personalized based on the results we get. I can also check around the finances, your taxes optimization. What is the level of your taxes optimization? And maybe something needs to be looked at. I'm not an accountant. I don't know the details afterwards, but I can give you direction or your level of spending. And often we don't spend enough. It's not a way, right? Many occasions, I'm like, maybe you should spend a little bit more for yourself and self-care. And yeah, relationship or like social life, I'm going to check your level of social interaction. Do you spend too much time or not enough time seeing friends and people that make you feel good, right? So it's very practical, and we've come up with like very precise actions to get you more into your flow in an alignment with your natural vibration.
I love that. And one of the things that I know that you've been teaching as well is actually to show people how to do this for themselves. So they go and they have a session with you, like we've had a session together, and like you explained all this stuff for me, and things like my sleeping patterns and stuff came up, and it was like, you're sleeping way too much, Yolandi, which is lovely. So I have been dialing back on that, I promise. But yeah, so I mean, like those things are really awesome. What the people use then after they've seen you and after they've had this life assessment, give us a little bit more information about that.
So in the 12-week program that I offer called Connect to Your Inner GPS, halfway through the program, I teach people how to use the GPS grid and how to learn the self-muscle testing method. So self-muscle testing method is your body having a strong muscle test if it's a yes and a weakness if it's a no. All you have to do is to drop into your body instead of staying in your mind to get all the answers you need. So I teach my clients how to do self-muscle testing, how to use the GPS grid so that they can make fast decisions in their daily life by themselves. No more confusion, no more fatigue, no more back and forth. Should I do this? Should I do that? I have made the right decision. No more. Because if you get a 12, this is alignment with your soul. Don't overthink it. If you get a 5 is an energy of its variation. So it's not stable enough. So you should probably not consider it. I use it a lot. I told my clients to use it a lot at the beginning for books. If you get a 4 for books, it's probably going to be a boring book. Sorry to say, but don't waste your time. All right. So, but if you get 8 and above, this book can really give you some new insights.
Yes.
So it's
Okay, I
how I
love it.
use it. And then also you can use it in your business decision, but we might talk about business a little bit later. It's really just like a tool to guide you in your life and making fast decisions in alignment with yourself.
And that's so beautiful because I think one of the hardest things is like just learning to trust yourself, right? And when you can drop into that trusting your body, I mean, that is the most magnificent thing. And I think part of this work that so many of us are doing is trying to lead people back to trusting themselves. And this is such a cool, practical way of actually getting you
Yeah.
back into that space.
Act-
Right. Yeah, go for it. Go for
yeah,
it.
actually, I have another example. I just led a workshop in Mind Valley University, and the way we've been using the grid is say take the agenda of the Mind Valley University, because there are constantly 3 talks or workshop at the same time. And people were getting very overwhelmed. Where should I go? Where should I go? Am I going to miss something? Big FOMO, right? And I say, open your agenda and check the energy of each talks and each workshop and go with the highest value on the GPS grid. And don't overthink it anymore. It was mind blowing. People loved it.
And that again, that's such a simple thing, right? And it's just like, okay, I'm not spending my energy thinking about this for 4 days and like stressing about it. And just like, boom, make a decision and off you go. It's so beautiful. Okay, so the other thing, and I think this was one of the things that when I met you that really intrigued me was using this method in your business. Okay, so give us a little bit more insight into how you suggest people use it, what people can use it for in their own businesses.
Totally, because if you use the principle that everything is energy, then you can measure business decision. You can measure whether this new candidate for a job is the right one to work with you and your team. Because I think there is this myth in the corporate world that all the big decisions and recruitments are based on facts and metrics and data. That's not true. And I did business strategies for hotels for 15 years, and I can guarantee you half of the decisions were gut feelings, hoping I didn't screw up, right? um, but now I have a tool to actually measure them. And based on that, I have created the exact same method for businesses that I had just finished a couple of weeks ago. And this Galus method for business will give you the indication of your energy for your social media, your marketing, your logo, your website, but also your system and processes. We can also measure the energy of your pricing for each of your services and products. Is it in alignment with your business vibration? As well as your relationship for your clients, your staff, obviously, your leadership style. Do you have the right values and culture in your company? Again, always in alignment with your business, because your business has a vibration like a soul has a vibration. It's an entity. It exists. It's alive. So there is a vibration, and therefore we can check the energy. I can tell you, like when I was in my corporate job still, I mean, it was a large corporate company, so I couldn't be out there with like intuition and energy, but I was using it in the background. I did all my recruitment based on whether that person has the right frequency for my team.
Yeah.
In order to keep it the right team spirit.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't have to be the right energy with myself. It had to be the right energy for the team.
Yes.
And so I did it based on their resume, and it makes you feel like you don't waste time. You know, you actually hire the right person. I mean, I'm yet to know somebody who hire a candidate that made you feel uncomfortable. You hire based on vibes and connection, and vibes and connection can be measured.
Yes. And that's so amazing. Oh, I love it.
My big vision, Yolandi, my big vision is one day to have top executive or large company in a meeting room making decision together using the GPS grid or using any other energy measurement tools. And like, okay, what do you feel? All right, this is the right business decision based on energy reading. This is my big vision, and I will yeah, it is my life path, my life mission now.
And I love it because I mean, I was saying to you before, but like there's this whole change that's happening now, and we are needing as a society to actually start tuning into these things. And methods like yours will help people to start opening up their minds to actually listening to their intuition. And this is
Mhm.
what we're needing. We're needing to shift out of like, this is what the book says, you have to do it that way, and actually go, what is the best for the people and all of that? Because I always loved how you said to me, like you would say, okay, these guys sit together because their energy works together in the office. So you would have a team, construct the team based on their energy results, and then things would be so much more productive. And like these guys shouldn't be sitting together, those guys can be together. I mean, small things like that when you're running a business is immeasurably, like, really, really so valuable. So I just absolutely adore this.
Yeah, it's really in my mind. Well, I want to bridge spirituality and materiality,
Mm.
because I remember when I started my spiritual quest, I was getting a lot of information. Oh, your heart chakra is blocked, or you need more of this or more of that. But I wasn't getting any solutions.
Mm.
And
Yes.
I was left with all those questions in my mind. But how I can open my heart chakra? Nobody told me how. And there are so many things out there and online. Like, what is the one for me that would have the
Yes.
most impact on me? And this is what I've tried to do with the method, is to be as precise and practical as possible, so that I give like a clear direction. And the
Yes.
same for the
Yes.
business world. And like you said, I'm also interested in how you place people in an office space, because we all have a different energy. And let's be honest, we don't all get along. So sure, let's make sure we place people in an office space uh, with a flow of frequency in there, so there's no friction. I mean, there's so many ways we can use that technique and that method that I have developed. I'm very, very passionate about that, and I think it's just the beginning of introducing intuition into a systematic procedure in business.
Yes. And I think the one thing that really appeals to me is because so many of us, well, we come from corporate, we function in that little rigid brain that we want to have a method and stuff. And I just thought when I saw this, I'm like, shit, this is going to appeal to so many people because, being all over the place, and that's not how we function. That's not how we've been taught. That's not how we've grown up. So this is basically a beautiful way of bringing everyone who's like very rigid, very controlling, like in and going, actually, you can take all of that and use a really nice system to make yourself connect with all the flow out there. So it's literally like it's a bit of a mind fuck, but I'm like, this is such a cool idea. It's
Totally.
amazing. Okay, so how can people get to work with you? Tell us a little bit more about like what you're offering and what's out there for people to connect with you.
Yeah. So I really advise for the 12-week program that I have put together. And this 12-week program called Connect to Your Inner GPS, not only we do a full energy assessment, which means the 12 life maps and the 12 energy pointers. So when we're done, it's 144 energy points that we check, and we find solution to raise frequency when it be. But what's interesting about this program, as I said earlier, is that at the middle of the program, I teach you how to use the method yourself, because I really believe, first of all, this method has come through me. I'm just a
Yes.
messenger here. And I'm here to share it with the words as wide as I can. So it's very important for me that I empower people to be able to use that technique themselves. So this program, as I said, 12 weeks, weekly calls. So we really have like a full coaching and support for those 3 months. So this is probably the best option. But also, if you have only you need some clarity in your life. Let's say I had a lot of people asking me about career or professional projects, and they have 5 or 10 in their mind and they don't know where to put their focus and attention, then you can also contact me for what I call a clarity call. And we're just going to measure the energy of everything that's in your mind. So I'm going to say, tell me everything, all the ideas, all the project, give me, and I might even say, I think there's still one in there in your head. Just give me that the one you don't dare to say, the one you're fearful about. It's probably the one you have to go for. And me as an external person with energy, I'm able to say, this is the priority now. All right, forget about the rest, or because this is what your soul wants you to work on. So when I get a 12, I'm like, you have to go. It's 12 is no more thinking. Your soul is telling you through me, you got to jump on this big project. It is your life path. So that's there are different options that you can find as well on my website. I also do workshop to teach that method. I just did one at Mind Valley University, and the feedback has just been mind-blowing. And I did it 10 days ago, and I still see people in the corridor using self-muscle testing to decide on about their daily life. I hear about it at dinners. So the feedback has just been absolutely incredible about this new method. The method is 1 year old, so it's very brand new in this world.
Oh, it's awesome. And I love this concept. I think it's the coolest freaking thing ever. So if you are interested in this at all, please, please, please get in touch with Fanny. I mean, this is just like, it's awesome stuff. So thank you so much for coming. And I will be posting the address in the description, so you guys can just like have a look there, go and visit the website, and just go check this out. It's just freaking amazing. So thank you so much for your time, Fanny. I really enjoyed speaking to you.
Thank you, Yolandi. Thank you very much.
Cool. Okay. So we'll be back soon. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thank you so much.